I am the king and will not be. I am the king and will not. Be king and will not.
Hey, what is up guys, Epic Pokemon TCG here, and today guys I've got another deck profile for you. And today we're going to be taking a look at a pretty interesting deck that is very similar to Yveltal Zoroark Gallade, but kind of goes a different route, but still overall you're going to get the same results. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it guys, and as always the deck list will be down in the description below, so you can just go ahead and check that out. But starting off guys, we of course have two Yveltal EX. This is kind of going to be the main attacker of the deck in most situations. Now, of course, Yveltal has Evo Ball, 20 plus 20 more for each energy attached to both defending Pokemon. And then it has Y Cyclone for 90 damage. And then you can choose an energy card attached to Yveltal EX and move it to one of your bench Pokemon. So this is a very good way to kind of soften up Pokemon and get ready for the next turn. Or if you know your Yveltal is going to get knocked out next turn, you can Y Cyclone, get rid of one of your DCE or one of your Dark Energy, and move it to one of your bench Pokemon, so that way you don't necessarily lose all your energy whenever Yveltal goes down. And as for Evo Ball guys, it's pretty much just do as much damage as possible, and yeah, just kind of wreck your opponent. But we do have a kind of different secondary attacker, and that is going to be Regirock. Now Regirock is pretty much in here because it is a fighting type. And what it does is it really just wrecks Manectric, Raikou, what else is really popular that's electric? Raichu, I guess would be a Pikachu EX. And I feel like I'm missing something. Okay, if it's yellow, it dies. That's pretty much what, that sounded really racist. If it's electric, it dies. That sounded really racist. Let me kind of backtrack there and kind of fix what I said. But Regirock, of course, has Unyielding Rock, and that's going to be the attack pretty much that you're going to be using, because then it starts really getting Pokemon into the one-shot range. It does 60 plus damage. If your opponent's active Pokemon is a Pokemon EX, this attack does 60 more damage. So if you're attacking a Manectric EX, it's going to be doing 120 damage, and that's going to multiply to 240, and so that is going to take it out. And also, with a lot of non-EX attackers, that is going to be 120 damage, which will get the job done. And of course, guys, you can use Y Cyclone to move a DCE onto Regirock and get it ready for the next turn. Not really sure why you're going to be having an EX out there whenever there's electric types, but you know, hey, do you. Now, as you guys can see, it takes a fighting energy, and that can get kind of weird sometimes with a dark deck. But of course, we do have Smeargle in here to kind of help out. Pretty much what Smeargle is going to be in here for, you can use Beat. I mean that's cool if you want to use that. But it is going to have the ability Second Coat. And pretty much what this means is if, let's say Regirock has a Dark Energy attached to it, and you have a Fighting Energy in your discard pile, what you can do is you can switch the Dark Energy with a Fighting Energy in your discard pile once per turn, and then if you have a DCE already on it, or you have it in your hand, or you have it attached for the turn, pretty much you can just start using Unyielding Rock. It's a very surprising attack, one that you can kind of pull off like that, and it's really, Regirock is in here kind of like Gallade is, minus the Premonition, more so just to get rid of electric attackers. So, pretty cool there. Gotta get all this organized again. There we go. So that's pretty much what the idea behind here is. It's just attack with Yveltal. If you see electric Pokemon, use Regirock. And of course you do have other stuff in here like the Fighting Fury Belt if you check the description before you start watching the video. So that means Regirock is going to go into the 160 HP range. And yeah, pretty much 160 damage, they have to one-shot it, and a lot of those, like Manectric decks, just can't unless they start using the second attack. But I mean, I don't know, like pretty much you're going to get like a couple prizes, maybe even 4 prizes if they start attacking with double EXs, and so Regirock is going to come in handy. Moving on here, we run 4 Yveltal, but one of them is going to be different. I'm going to go over the Oblivion Wing one first here. Pretty much this is in here for Oblivion Wing, and you can use the Darkness Blade attack that, you know, can definitely come up in situations. But Oblivion Wing is going to be in here to kind of attach energy to your attackers. Now, one thing you can do against like an electric deck is you can lead Yveltal Battle Compressor in like some Dark Energy, and a Fighting Energy. Oblivion Wing, a Dark to Regirock. And then whenever Yveltal goes down, or if it goes down, you can send up Regirock and then use Smeargle to switch the Fighting Energy in your discard pile with the Dark one. So there's a lot of really good uses. Plus, there is stuff in here to get rid of tools and get rid of Fighting Fury belts off of Night March attackers. So the 3 Yveltal in here is definitely very good for the Night March matchup. And they're not always going to have a Fighting Fury belt on their Pokemon. Well, unless they start using their time puzzle very smartly. But pretty much there's stuff in here to get rid of the Fighting Fury belt, so that way you can just kind of keep attacking with Yveltal. Now the next Yveltal we're going to take a look at is going to be the Fright Night one. Now pretty much what this is in here for is a lot of decks that have really annoying tools that kind of go off with them and everything. This can definitely help out. Also, I believe, I'm not going to go into that because I might be wrong. But pretty much this is just in here to shut off tool effects. And then of course it has Pitch Black Spear. Does 61 of your opponent's pitch EX. So it's a really good way to soften up. This Yveltal here has a lot of different uses in very specific matchups. Some that I just can't think of off the top of my head for some reason, making me sound like a noob. But this Yveltal is very useful, trust me. I'm for some reason not thinking of it at the top of my head. If I do think about it though, or my wonderful subscribers or viewers would like to comment down below and be like, Dylan, you're an idiot, this is what it's good for, because I can't freaking think of it. But anyway, moving on here, we're going to be taking a look at the 2-2 Zoroark in here. Zoroark is definitely one of the best non-EX attackers I think I've seen in recent memory. Because it has stand-in, which pretty much is like rush-in from Keldeo. You can just make Zoroark your active. And then it has Mind Jack 10 plus 30 more for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So if they have like 5 bench Pokemon, you're going to be doing a ton of damage. So pretty awesome there. And also one thing to note is it is not weak to electric. So you do have more than one attacker than just Regirock in the electric matchup. So that's very good. Kind of mixing up with different weaknesses and everything. So definitely a very good card. Zoroark's one of my favorite cards. Next up, guys, we're going to be taking a look at Shaymin EX. Pretty much Shaymin EX is just kind of in here for the setup ability. And, of course, you can use Sky Return, but more so it is in here for setup. Alright, so that is going to do it for the Pokemon. Now we're going to take a look at the supporter cards. For Sycamore, pretty standard. Then we're going to be taking a look at 2 Lysandre, just to bring up stuff. 1 Judge, this can be a disrupted card, or if you have a crap hand or just something like that. Judges can hurt your opponent, especially when you take knockouts on their attackers. If you are late in the game and your opponent only really has 1 attacker set up, you can judge your opponent and then knock out the attacker. It's pretty much just kind of leave them in a difficult spot unless they are amazing at top decking. I'm putting my supporters in 2 different piles for some reason, don't judge me. Hex Maniac. Hex Maniac is very good against cards like Aegislash EX. And first turn, Hex Maniacs are very good because it stops Shaymin EXs from coming down on your opponent's field. So that's pretty cool. Also, if you're going against like a fairy deck or something like that, or what the heck else? Stops bats. Stops bats too. That's something definitely to note. 1 Xerosic. Xerosic is in here to get rid of your opponent's special energy or get rid of tools. Specifically, something I kind of want to note here is very good to get rid of the stupid Fighting Fury belts off of Night March attackers. Something I kind of know. See, I'm putting my supporters in 2 different stacks. Goodness. But it's a very good way to get Fighting Fury belts off of Night Marchers. Next up, we're going to take a look at AZ. Really in here, you can pick up your Shaymin, or you can pick up a heavily damaged Pokemon that might about to be knocked out, or something that they're trying to stall with. Never know with AZ. Skyla. Skyla can get you any of your tools, such as your Battle Compressors, your Float Stones, your Enhanced Hammers, your Max Elixirs, Fighting Fury Belts, etc. Or it can get you your... Really? You know, I'm just going to do this. These are new sleeves, so I'm not trying to put them in a gigantic stack, but whatever. Alright. You can get your supporter for your next turn. Really, there's just a lot of uses with Skyla. So Skyla is definitely a pretty good card. For the trainers, we have 4 VS Seeker to get back to the supporters I just showed you. And then we have 4 Ultra Ball to search out the Pokemon. Pretty self-explanatory. 3 Fighting Fury Belt. These actually are pretty good in here because they make Yveltal EX have 210 HP, like I said before. It makes Regirock have 160, 170, and then, well, 170, 140, and 150. I don't know why you would do that, but hey. But Fighting Fairy Belt's definitely very good. Makes your Pokemon a little more bulkier. This deck already hits for enough damage as it is. Muscle Band was just kind of like making some of them overkill. But I can definitely understand Fighting Fairy Belt being very good in here because it just kind of makes your Pokemon kind of like Mega, sorta, and makes your Regirock kind of get up into the EX margin of HP. And Regirock having 160 HP really is the key thing. You are already one-shotting a bunch of electric Pokemon as it is, pretty much all of them. And so the 10 extra damage doesn't hurt. Yveltal can do a ton of damage already, and so making it have 210 HP makes it a lot more difficult to knock out. And so Yveltal can be doing as much damage as absolutely possible. And it pretty much is staying on the field is something that is pretty scary. It's kind of crazy that Yveltal can still do a ton of damage and still be very viable in today's world. And this, or in today's meta, and this is one of the reasons why, because we do have Max Elixir. Max Elixir, this card, look at the top 6 cards of your deck and attach a basic energy card you find there to a basic Pokemon on your bench. So pretty much you have the potential, if you get the right things, to get a turn 1 Evil Ball. Kind of reminds me of the old Dark Patch days. But still, Max Elixir is very good also because if you are able to actually pull a Dark Energy and you have a Smeargle or a Fighting Energy, if you have a Fighting Energy in a discard pile and you somehow pull a Dark Energy, you can start attacking with Regirock like right away. And Max Elixir just opens up a lot of very explosive plays with this deck if you are lucky enough to pull something at the right time. You good? You gonna stay? Alright, now, I've been mentioning these Battle Compressors all video. So here they are. There's 2 of them in here. There is multiple uses with Battle Compressor. Getting rid of stuff you don't need out of your deck is one. If you have a VS Seeker, no supporter in your hand, you can just kind of discard a supporter from your deck. Or if you need a key supporter at a specific time or for a specific matchup or something like that, it helps you get your energy into the discard pile. So it helps you get your fighting and your dark energies into the discard pile. And so, really, there's just a lot of uses to Battle Compressor. Next up, 2 Float Stone. This is going to allow your Zoroark to kind of move around freely. Stand in, free retreat. Also, it's going to help out your Max Elixir plays too. Being able to throw down a Float Stone on your active Pokemon. And if you're able to hit a Max Elixir, then it is going to just kind of help you out a lot there. So, Float Stone, definitely a very good card in this deck because it just kind of gives you a little bit more freedom. And then we are going to have 2 Enhanced Hammer. This is very good, getting rid of special energy. Specifically, like I said, I'm going to reference Night March in a lot of my videos because that kind of seems like the scary deck at the time, or at the time right now. But there's also very good uses with this card too, getting rid of Double Dragon energy. I know Double Dragon based decks are definitely popping up more and more, specifically Giratina. Giratina you shouldn't have much of a problem with, honestly, with Yveltal. But still something to note. Also, it'll allow you to get rid of strong energies, because I know like decks like Garchomp, the Lucario Bats, and Flash Energy, definitely a very good card to target with Enhanced Hammer if you're able to get it. That's something I did miss with Xerosic earlier, is being able to discard a Flash Energy. So something I definitely missed there. I think like really that's like the key thing that Enhanced Hammer and Xerosic as a combination is going to help you out with, is getting rid of Flash Energy. Next up, guys, Super Rod. This is going to allow you to pretty much put the attackers you might need back into your deck. Pretty much Yveltal and Regirock, and for Night March matchups, of course, Yveltal. That is going to win you the matchup pretty much in Night March matchups, because for 1 energy you are taking down their main attackers, and I mean really they're attaching DCEs to attack you, and I mean in the end, if you're able to stream and keep up having Yveltals on the field, then you're pretty much going to win that matchup. For energy, guys, for DCE, pretty much everything in here takes a DC to attack somehow. So pretty good to have those in here. Then we're going to have 7 Dark Energy, and then 2 Fighting Energy. The Fighting Energy, of course, being for Regirock, and the Dark Energy being for, well, Yveltal. So, this deck's pretty cool. I really like it, and it was piloted by Israel Sosa in a state tournament that he did pretty cool at, or pretty well at. He's a pretty cool guy. He's actually a friend of mine, so pretty sure he'll be alright with me covering this deck. So, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe for some more content if you would like to. And thank you guys so much for watching. And I should have the return of the league videos this week, or this upcoming week, hopefully. I'm thinking about going tomorrow. So I haven't been there in a couple weeks, so it's going to be pretty cool to start vlogging again. So if you guys enjoyed the video, if you have any decks you would like me to cover, let me know down in the comment section below, and I'm going to try my best to start trying to cover those. I'm going to try to, to do some more decks. I actually did 3 of them this week, which is a lot for me. I need to start getting back on that deck grind. So, yeah, you guys take care. I love you, and this is Epic Pokemon TCG, signing out. Take care, guys.